greeted by the Prince and Princess of Wales as President Trump and First Lady Melania arrive at Windsor Castle. This an unprecedented second state visit for Donald Trump, and waiting for him the King and Queen, a royal show of force to enhance the special relationship. Donald Trump loves the monarchy, and this was full royal pageantry on display. A carriage procession through the Windsor estate, lined by members of the armed forces and military bands from the Royal Marines, the Army and the RAF. An impressive display, but all behind the walls of the castle. Tight security means President Trump will see little of the public on this visit. The Trumps arrived in London last night, staying at the US ambassador's residence in Regent's Park, where the president spoke of his admiration for the king.
He's been a friend of mine for a long time, and everybody respects him, and they love him. Thank you very much.
It didn't all go smoothly, though. Images of Donald Trump and the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein were projected onto the walls of Windsor Castle. 4 people were later arrested on suspicion of malicious communications. Today, any protests will be kept well out of the president's sight. Instead, he enjoyed inspecting the Guard of Honour as the king trailed behind. Later, there will be a fly-past and a state banquet as this major royal charm offensive continues, which it's hoped will strengthen the UK-US relationship even more. Leila Hayes, ITV News.
President Trump's state visit takes place over 2 days. Here's what the schedule looks like. Later this afternoon, in a private moment, he'll lay a wreath at the late Queen Elizabeth II's tomb in St George's Chapel. At 4:45, there'll be a joint UK-US military flypast, the first of its kind for a state visit. This evening, a traditional state banquet will be held at the castle. Tomorrow, the US president will travel to Chequers to meet the Prime Minister. Expect a press conference from there before he returns to the United States. Our royal editor, Chris Shipp, is in Windsor. A big day, Chris, for the president, for UK-US relations, for the royal family. There is so much at stake.
You're right, Nina, a big day on so many levels. I mean, I've just come from the helicopter landing zone, essentially a very large field, which has never been used for helicopter landings before, but that's where Marine One took down, landed a little while ago. And I watched as he came, President Trump came across the field with Prince William and Kate. Even the king, I mean, he's seen a few things in his time, but even the king was standing, sort of peering behind the glass of the doors, interested in the spectacle of this particular world leader coming here to Windsor. And then you've got this rather bizarre scenario, and presumably this is why Donald Trump came here, but the carriage procession from where he landed up to the castle didn't go anywhere near the public, as we've been saying. He was going along a road which was lined by soldiers, but essentially guarding him from what? Guarding him from a hedge on one side and a pile of grass on the other. But once you strip away all of that, let's look at the significance of it, and this is about the politics. Of course, this isn't the King's choice. He's doing what the Prime Minister asked him to do, and the trade deal and the relationships with Donald Trump. And providing they can flatter him enough in there, and my goodness, they're having a good go at it today, well then, if Mr Trump leaves here happy, well, so will the Prime Minister be happy.
Chris, thank you very much for now. Thank you. Well, neither President Trump's supporters or opponents will, as Chris was saying, likely get close to him this week. Such is the high security for his second state visit. Some who are angry at the invitation protested, as we were saying, in Windsor by projecting images of the president alongside the late paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Others are taking to the streets. Carrie Davis is at Portland Place in central London, where the Stop Trump coalition is gathering to stage a demonstration. Carrie, what scale of protest are we expecting?
Well, there are a few hundred protesters here already with about half an hour to go. There are lots of press from all over the world and police from forces across the UK. Organisers say that thousands have signed up to attend this event, but the turnout is difficult to predict given it's a weekday. Now, the Stop the Trump coalition comprises more than 50 unions, charities, campaign groups, including Greenpeace, Amnesty International and Save British Farmers. Organisers say that they are demonstrating today to oppose what they call the politics of Trumpism.
This is an unprecedented second state visit for Donald Trump. It's absolutely shameful that the government has rolled this red carpet out. What is really fascinating this time round, though, is that Donald Trump is hiding in Windsor Castle, away from the people, away from journalists, away from all scrutiny. So whatever the government wants to say about this state visit, the gloss of it is well and truly off.
Well, there'll be speeches here from about 2 p.m. before everyone marches to Parliament Square, where there's going to be a rally scheduled for 5 o'clock. That's being hosted by comedian Nish Kumar. There's a long list of speakers, including singer and activist Billy Bragg and former leader of the Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn. There are also similar but smaller protests organised across the UK today. This one is due to get going in around 25 minutes.
Harry Davis, thank you. The special invitation for President Trump is all about preserving the special relationship between the UK and America, crucially because of its impact right now on our economy. While we wait to see if it changes our tariffs, the visit did come with an announcement today of a new deal that could bring billions of pounds of investment to the UK from America's top technology companies. But could the plan to supercharge Britain's reliance on AI ultimately lead to job losses? And what might the UK give up in return for this deal? Our political correspondent Carl Dinnan joins me now from Westminster. First of all, Carl, what are the details of the deal announced this morning and what's the reaction to it?
They're calling this the tech prosperity deal. It covers AI, quantum computing and nuclear technology. And at the heart of it is £31 billion worth of investment into the UK from the likes of Microsoft, Google and OpenAI, including what they're calling an AI growth zone, which will be established in the northeast of England. Now, as you say, there are questions about what the government has given up in return for this. Are they going to do something on the digital services tax, which those tech giants really hate? Are they going to change copyright law in a way that they would like? Well, today the Science and Technology Secretary told us none of that was part of the deal.
This deal does what it says on the tin. We are gaining from this, not giving anything up. We are going to get the investment we need to create the infrastructure and from there absolutely turbocharge our economy.
That does not mean there has been no change leading to this. In particular, the government has changed who the chair of the Competitions and Markets Authority is and given it a new, more pro-growth direction. And the president of Microsoft says that without that, they could not have played their part in this deal, which is the biggest chunk of it, actually, in monetary terms. It's worth some £22 billion from Microsoft alone. So there is that. There are also concerns about the data centres that will be built as a part of this, the energy consumption, the water consumption involved in those. But the government will chalk this up as a win. It will be fascinating to see when the President and Prime Minister sit down what other areas are touched on, what they say about Gaza, where there are differences, what they say about Ukraine. But for now, the government is trumpeting that tech prosperity deal.